biggest bully in life ever. Because you're my sister.
I just don't understand why you're
Kim, you are honestly not listening to me.
Miss Kendall Jenner. You know her. You love her.
And this is the Holly Buzz. Kendall Jenner is really cementing her place as the world's top model with a naked photo shoot.
There's a question that's haunted the fashion industry for over a decade. How do you become the world's highest paid supermodel without actually loving fashion? The answer is simpler than you think. You don't need passion. You don't need years of rejection. You don't even need to want it that badly. You just need the right last name. This is the story of Kendall Jenner and what happens when the fashion industry's gatekeepers open the door before anyone even knocks. Let's start with what Kendall wants you to believe. In interviews, she's painted herself as someone who earned her place. She talks about removing her last name from casting cards, about running between auditions in New York.
It's a super fun way to kick off Fashion Week. What are you most looking forward to tonight?
I don't know. I'm super excited to be here, kick it off with Target, and
about working harder than anyone gives her credit for. And look, I'm sure she showed up to some castings. I'm sure she walked into some rooms. But here's what she conveniently leaves out. She never had to face what actual working models face, the possibility of failure. Think about it. Most models spend years getting rejected. They work side jobs to afford rent. They do small catalogs hoping someone will notice. They build portfolios one unpaid shoot at a time. The industry chews them up, and only a tiny fraction ever make it to the top. Kendall's journey? Her mom made some phone calls. At 14, she handed Kris Jenner a photo book. And within weeks, she had a Forever 21 campaign. A few years later, she's walking for Marc Jacobs. By her early 20s, she's earning tens of millions annually. The difference isn't talent, it's access. Here's where it gets interesting. Most people who fight their way into elite spaces are hungry for it. They live and breathe their craft. They're obsessed. Kendall? She's openly admitted she'd rather be doing something else. She said on camera that if she weren't modeling, she'd probably be an Olympic equestrian. She's talked about being built like an athlete based on some blood test.
I think I'd probably be in the Olympics or going to the Olympics for horseback riding. I did this blood test. They told me that I'm super athletic and that I'm built for this.
But I'm athletic too.
Are you though? I'm literally built as an athlete. Every blood test I've ever done has said that I am like over the normal limit of athleticness.
She's walked off runway training sessions because she was bored. During fashion weeks, events that represent career-defining moments for most models, Kendall has reportedly been shaving her legs in the back of cars on the way to shows.
Fashion week.
She's posted about it like it's quirky or relatable, but really, it's revealing. It shows exactly how seriously she takes something other people would sacrifice everything for. And maybe that's fine. Maybe she doesn't have to love it. But when you combine that indifference with her privilege, it creates something toxic: entitlement. Let's talk about how Kendall treats people. There are the restaurant workers who've described her as cold, or mentioned she has others speak for her instead of addressing staff directly. There's the viral story about leaving without paying and allegedly throwing cash at servers. There's the receipt posted online showing no tip at all. There are former acquaintances who've shared stories on social media about her clearing out restaurants she wanted to herself, kicking paying customers out of VIP sections, having security confiscate phones at clubs. There's the footage of her cutting lines,
shutting down full establishments because she wanted to be there even though other people were already eating. Or my personal favorite was the time that it was my friend's birthday. We got a table next to the DJ, but she showed up and they kicked us out of her table. We got put in a table next to hers.
Parking in handicapped spaces repeatedly until being called out, then switching to fire lanes instead. There's her bragging on talk shows about getting out of speeding tickets by name-dropping her famous father.
Not stopping completely at a stop sign, or like maybe like a little bit of a speeding ticket. The cops would always be like, "Oh my God, I love your dad. Like I grew up watching your dad," or like, you know, saw him at coffee this morning, so I would most of the time get out of them.
So you'd get out? Sure.
Sometimes, not all the time.
How many speeding tickets do you have?
I don't know. Do people like, I don't think I've ever like
the fact
counted.
that you don't know.
Even her own family has commented on it. Jordan Woods said she was scared of Kendall when she first met her.
It's funny, I was scared of Kendall for like the first 2 years I was friends with Kylie, because they did not get along.
Kylie has called her my biggest bully.
My biggest bully in life ever. Because you're my sister.
Now, are these the worst things a celebrity has ever done? No, but they paint a picture, a pattern. Someone who's learned that rules don't really apply to her, and that other people exist to accommodate her needs. Here's the uncomfortable truth. The fashion industry let this happen. They knew Kendall was a nepotism hire. Everyone knew. But she came with millions of Instagram followers, with tabloid attention, with a built-in audience that could sell products. So they looked the other way. They gave her campaigns that working models had spent years trying to book. They put her on runways she hadn't earned. They paid her more than models with decades of experience. And when she made comments dismissing models who do like 30 shows a season, mocking the very people grinding to survive, the industry mostly stayed quiet. When she reportedly picks and chooses shows last minute based on her mood and the paycheck.
I have this crazy dream that you want. I just don't understand why you're Kim, you are honestly not listening to me. I have told you 500 times that I don't want to be doing this right now, and you just keep going on with these crazy things. You're honestly crazy right now. You're acting like a brat when you're not. Like, you just walk out on meetings and you're not even doing, like, giving it your all. A young model's career is done at 25. You need to start acting a little bit more professional.
Brands still line up. Because here's the thing, Kendall Jenner doesn't need fashion. But fashion thinks it needs Kendall Jenner. The backlash hasn't been quiet, though. It's been constant. There was the Pepsi ad that trivialized police brutality, forcing the company to pull it and apologize.
Never purposely hurt someone, ever. And I would obviously, if I knew that this was gonna be the outcome, like, I would have never done something like this, but you don't know when you're in the moment, and like, it was the most, like, it was so, like, I just felt so stupid.
There was the Vogue shoot with the afro that sparked accusations of cultural appropriation, leading to another apology and removal. There was the 818 tequila campaign where she rode horses through agave fields while Mexican workers harvested behind her, imagery that felt like colonialism dressed up as entrepreneurship. And then there was the proactive situation. Kendall built up this massive announcement about being vulnerable and helping young people.
When I was 14, I couldn't reach as many people as I can now. Now that I'm 22 and I have this whole thing behind me, I can speak to so many people and just be like, I can help you, and it's okay. And I experience it. I'm very normal, and like, I understand you. Like, I can connect with you. I'm gonna try and help her.
Her mother tweeted about her being brave. Fans speculated she might finally address cosmetic procedures or mental health. Instead, it was an acne medication ad for a product she'd never credited before, despite publicly thanking her dermatologist for her skin. It wasn't just disappointing. It felt like a betrayal of trust, turning genuine connection into a sales pitch. Kendall Jenner's career isn't really about Kendall Jenner. It's about what we value. She's a reflection of an industry that prioritizes fame over craft, followers over talent, access over merit. She's what happens when the door is held open by wealth and name recognition, and the people who actually love what they do are left waiting outside. But she's also a product of something bigger, a culture that rewards being famous for being famous, where hard work is optional if you were born into the right family, where treating people poorly doesn't matter as long as you're successful enough. The frustrating part, Kendall will be fine. She'll keep booking campaigns. She'll keep making millions. The system that elevated her isn't going to suddenly demand accountability, but maybe we can demand something different. Maybe we can stop pretending that nepotism is the same as achievement. Maybe we can start asking harder questions about who gets opportunities and why. Because Kendall Jenner didn't earn her place at the top through talent or dedication. She inherited it. And until we're honest about that, the fashion industry and every other industry like it will keep rewarding the wrong things.